Welcome everyone. Today we are not just talking about mindset, we are discussing the literal architecture of identity. Look at the screen. This is a blueprint for your energetic and psychological realignment. I want you to start with the radical premise. You are already the version of yourself who has it. Success is not something you get, it's something you tune into. We are translating abstract quantum principles into grounded mechanics specifically for you, the entrepreneurs and the traders who deal with risk and reality every single day. In my work as a manifestation expert, I often refer to this as the observer effect. In quantum physics, this means that the version of reality you witness is the one you are energetically aligned with. You have a massive amount of untapped potential. Your success is determined by whether you live your life tapping into that power or staying disconnected. Today, we move beyond the how to and into the who you are. This is about remembering your true power and forgetting the illusion that you aren't good enough. Every solution and idea you need is already within you. You just have to remember it. We are here to engineer a new reality by first engineering a new you. Most people are living inside the box they didn't even build. We call this the false identity. It's an outdated psychological architecture built from conditioning, programming, and past experiences. When you feel like you don't belong, that syndrome, it isn't proof you're a fraud. It's a symptom that you are operating inside this old box while your soul is trying to expand. There are three major leaks here: the misuse of focus and energy. The misuse of focus and energy, I'm just repeating it, where you operate on autopilot, a vision deficit, where you lack a driver beyond simple survival, and the comfort zone trap. In the comfort zone trap, you mistake familiar limitations for actual reality. You stay here because it feels safe, but your potential, that glowing ring you see on the slide, remains untapped. I see this as the primal brain. Note, trying to keep you safe from keeping you small, but your vision must be bigger than your fear. You have forgotten your power because of this illusion. To break out, we must identify the specific things: disconnecting you, the misuse of focus, having no meaningful vision, and staying in that comfort zone. We are going to dismantle this box today. The physics of focus. Let's talk about the physics of focus. In this world, awareness is the ultimate currency. There is a law: where awareness is directed, energy flows, and that specific reality expands. Think of your focus like an attention funnel. You have general awareness at the top, but when you narrow it down, it becomes directed energy that hits physical reality. Let us do a quick experiment to prove this. Put your entire focus on your left foot right now. Keep it there. Don't look away. As you focus, you might notice tingling warmth, or even realizing your toe is sore or itchy. Did your food change? No, but your perception of it expanded because your energy went there. This is exactly how your business and life work. What you focus on gains immediate access to your subconscious, changing your vibration and what you perceive as reality. If you focus on the lack grows. If you focus on possibilities, they materialize. Everything exists as a wave of potential in the quantum field, waiting for you to observe it so it can materialize into form. You cannot perceive the solution if you're energetically resonating with the problem. You must get on the same wavelength as the reality you want. The opportunity cost of attention. Every time you pay attention, it costs you something. It's a little figure of speech. Paying attention. If you focus on one thing, you cannot focus on another that might grow you more. Many of us are caught in a paradox. We obsessively try to control things we have no business controlling while neglecting the few things actually in our power. Look at the uncontrollables, the energy drains, how the market moves, how the client trade, other people emotions, or your future pacing unknown variables. You have zero leverage there. When you dwell on these, you vibrate in harmony with the problem. Instead, look at the controllables, the energy builders, your attitude, your internal state, your daily habits, and how you frame your external triggers. This is where your power lies. In my experience, world class manifestors practice radical responsibility. They pull their awareness back from chaos and put it on their own internal navigation. When you go all in on what you can control, you tap back into your power. Stop scrolling, stop complaining, and start taking control of your focus. The mechanics of motivation. There are two types of fuel for journey: push motivation and pull motivation. Most people rely on push. It's willpower, drive, and grinding. It's necessary to start, but it's limited, exhausting, and prone to burnout because you are fighting against resistance. The elite, however, use pull motivation. This comes from having meaningful vision so exciting that it generates its own gravity. It's a gravity of purpose where your vision is bigger than you. You get out of your own way because the pull is stronger than your self doubt or confusion. I want you to define your why. Why do you want the money? What is the emotional reason? For some, it's helping family or building a sanctuary. Without that emotional anchor, you won't have the pull. You must define yourself from the possibilities, not the limitations. In this world of manifestation, we call it this intentionality. You aren't just working, you're being drawn towards a destiny that you have already claimed as yours. The power of absolute decision. Most people wish, but successful people decide. Making a decision means cutting off every other possibility. It's putting your stick in the ground and saying, "This is where I'm looking. Look at this blueprint." Note from January 2024. I, as a creator, was living in childhood bedroom with a failing agency, but wrote down YouTuber, community, aligned partner. The moment you truly decide, you allow the path to unfold. This is the quantum effect. The path unfolds backward from the destination. You only need 1% belief to stick the stake in the ground. Once the decision is absolute, your intuition starts giving you hits like looking for houses, house shares, or meeting the right partner the very same day. In manifestation terms, this is collapsing the wave function. By deciding, you select one reality out of the infinite possibilities and make it the only one allowed to manifest. The Genesis sequence. This is the most important slide for anyone struggling with the how. We call it the Genesis sequence, and it's found in ancient wisdom: be, do, have. The flawed assumption is, if I have money, I do the right actions and be successful. That is the backward direction. The quantum law is, first, you be fruitful, you adapt the energetic frequency of the person who already has the result. Then that identity naturally corresponds with taking the correct high level actions. Then do. Finally, the physical reality materializes as a byproduct, the have. You cannot do the actions of a successful version of you until you become that version. You have is the result of your do, and you do is the result of your being. So stop worrying about the how. The only how you need to focus on is becoming the version of you who already knows this. This is what Neville Goddard called living in the end. Dwelling in the mental state of the wish fulfilled until it becomes your natural frequency. This stick figure blueprint. Now let's get practical. I want you to draw a stick figure. This is you living your vision. This is parallel version of you that already exists in the quantum field. To tune into their frequency, we have to define their identity. Look at the 4 quadrants of this blueprint. Characteristics. Are they bold, patient, open? How do they carry themselves? Habits and routines. Do they study their craft, read? What are their non-negotiable daily actions? Boundaries. What energies or requests are they no longer available for? Standards. How do they treat themselves? Every next level of reality requires a higher baseline standard. When the creator did this, her future self-studied and read. So she started doing it, and the quality of her work changed immediately. In my practice, I call this identity scripting. You aren't pretending, you're stepping into a pre-existing energetic template. The green juice phenomenon. Sometimes the how doesn't make sense to your logical mind. This is the green juice phenomenon. One client's intuition told her that her future self drank green juice every morning. Logically, green juice has nothing to do with launching software, but energetically, drinking that juice forced her to feel like her future self. The moment her frequency shifted, her perception changed. Suddenly, she had a random idea of who to reach out to for an investor meeting. Logic breaks here, but energy doesn't. Do not filter your future self habits through linear logic. These small intuitive instructions are your literal roadmap to a new reality. In manifestation, we call this inspired action. It's not about working harder, it's about acting from the state of the person who is already there. Why do most people stay stuck? They are caught in the autopilot trap. This is a feedback loop. You see your current circumstances, for example, just on 800 euros in the bank account. This triggers a reactive state of lack, insecurity, and fear. That state causes constricted perception, where you can only see problems and you can't perceive solutions. You take repetitive actions rooted in scarcity, which reproduce the same circumstances. As long as you allow your external circumstances to dictate your internal state, you're continually instructing reality to keep you exactly where you are. Your brain just keeps firing the same neurons and focusing on the same things. To change your life, you must stop being created by your environment and start creating it. This is what the psychologists call the self-fulfilling prophecy. But on an energetic level, it's a frequency lock. To break the loop, you must perform an identity override. This requires you to be okay with being a new self in an old reality for a while. You must become bigger than your environment. Take the Euro 800 bank account case study. The old default was to see the low balance, feel lack, and stay trapped. The loop breaker is seeing that same 800 and refusing it to let it define you. You consciously shift your energy to the abundance despite the visual evidence. The rule of creation is this: the moment you define your state internally rather than externally, old circumstances have no choice but to begin falling away. You take your power back from the circumstance. In the world of manifestation, this is called denying the evidence of the senses. You trust your internal vision more than the 3D world around you. Here is where most people quit: the delay phase. The physical reality is dense. There is a reality lag where your internal identity has shifted, the yellow line, but the physical circumstances, the white line, haven't caught up yet. During this phase, reality will test you. You will see the same old income, the same triggers, and the same friction. This isn't proof that manifestation isn't working. It's life schooling you to see if you are ready to hold to the next level. The required action is to hold the frequency. You must retain reality on how to respond to you. If you default back to your old state because the bank account hasn't changed yet, the circumstance line will never rise. As an expert, I call this the buffer time. It's a gap between your prayer and the answer, where your faith is forced into character. The 1% standard. How do you stay in the energy of success? You adopt the 1% standard. This is based on the Price's law, which reveals that a tiny fraction of the people are responsible for the vast majority of results in any domain. Most people are not actually doing their best. They are optimizing for comfort or reacting to outcomes. If you decouple your effort from the immediate situation and focus solely on being your best, improving 1% daily, you automatically place yourself in the top percentile of the market. Growth outpaces everyone else when you focus on you versus you. Don't compete. Just be better than you were yesterday. In high performance coaching, we call this the compounding effect. Excellence is not an act, but a habit of the new identity you have built. Learning versus earning. You must understand the rhythm of growth. Life has up cycles and down cycles. In an up cycle, earning, you see massive growth and the business is working for you. In the down cycle, learning, you face plateaus and friction. This is when the business is working on you. The focus during down cycle is character development. Life is revealing exactly where you lack the capacity to hold the next level of success. The rule is simple. You must have the humility to learn the lessons of the down cycle to earn the income of the next up cycle. I always tell, success is a responsibility. If you cannot handle the lows with the identity of a leader, you won't be allowed to keep the highs. Fall in love with the process of character development. Maintenance hack 3: rewiring the autopilot. Finally, you must rewire the autopilot. Your moment to moment reactions are the steering wheel of your reality. When a trigger happens, like a market dip or an unexpected expense, your instant autopilot reaction is usually to spiral into constricted perception. To exercise creative control, you must create a pause, space. In that space, you choose a conscious response as the future self. This leads to expanded perception and allows you to actually create your circumstances rather than being created by them. The ultimate reward isn't the subscriber count or the revenue target, it is the character development required to hold it. If someone handed you the results without the process, it would be meaningless. Fall in love with the process, shift your focus and energy today, and the results you desire will begin to unfold automatically. Thank you for stepping into your new architecture. Thank you for being with me on this narration till the end.